Hey, what's up? This is Aaron Sampson.
And Ryan Schubert.
And we are here after our performance in our Now Playing episode where we were competing for who could die the most.
Yeah, that was pretty embarrassing.
Yeah.
I think I might have had you beat.
So we've decided to bring you a gun special, focusing on the guns of close quarters and footage of us not sucking at using them.
Yeah, we did actually not always suck.
So starting off, we have the Assault class. The Assault class definitely being one of the best fits for close quarters, wouldn't you say?
I'd agree, yeah. The Assault class and support seem like what this was designed for.
I mean, pretty much the ability to rain grenades, revive fallen teammates, and have, in the case of the Aug A3, which is our first weapon, just very, very accurate weapons.
Yeah, the AUG is actually very good, both aiming down sights and hip fire.
Although the AUG does tend to lose gunfights, from the hip at point blank range with some of the newer, higher fire rate weapons like the MTAR.
Well, the MTAR is hard to beat no matter what you're using.
So there you just saw an EOD bot going by. What is that EOD bot doing there?
That EOD bot is desperately trying to complete the engineer assignment to unlock the MTAR.
Yeah, it seemed kind of strange because the MTAR is one of the better weapons in close quarters, and in order to get it, you have to use one of the most useless items in close quarters.
If not the most useless item.
But potentially the most useless item in the game, period.
Hell, in fact, when you look at that assignment, it's kind of the biggest pain in the butt of all the assignments. That, like, the placing within the first 5 on Gunmaster and doing the EOD bot.
Next up is the sock gun, or the Scarl. The gun that looks like it has a sock on the
on the back.
So what is this gun doing here?
This gun confounds me probably the most out of any of them. It's weird to me that Assault gets the lower caliber version of the rifle over Engineer. Although I think Engineer having like 1.762 makes sense, but why the smaller one on the Assault? It handles pretty much as poorly, and
not to mention, in order to get this gun, you had to work pretty hard.
Yeah, it took a while. I mean, it's the hand grenade kills and the 320 kills that, if you push hard enough, you can get pretty quickly, but it's definitely not, at least for me, not my natural play style to be throwing so many grenades and using so many noob tubes.
And it's funny, I went back and looked at the number of hours played and the number of grenade kills that I had, and I had not parsed the stats before. Realized that maybe one person dies per hour of me throwing grenades in the normal game.
That's probably about right for me, if not less.
So here's you using the SCAR, sort of how it's meant to be. I mean, it's kind of a heavier caliber, slower firing weapon.
Actually, the SCAR L is theoretically a 5.56, like most of the other assaults. I think the G3 is the only higher caliber assault weapon. Now,
this weapon came with a 12-time scope?
That has to be the most confounding thing about it, was that, other than iron sights, it comes packaged with a 12-time scope, which is the only assault rifle that gets one. Which I'm also surprised about. You'd think that if it was about sort of balancing things out in the game, that you would give that to the G3 before giving it to anything else. And the fact that they skipped 8x and went straight to 12x is bizarre too. I mean, on some levels, if you want to wonder whether EA and DICE are ever trolling the fans, I'd say that putting a 12x on the SCAR has to be it.
So this is the L86A2.
I like it. I like it with the holographic sight, and it handles really well.
Initially, I really liked the handling of this gun. Later on, as players got better and unlocked the MTAR, I realized you might need to put a flashlight on this because the fire rate's a little bit lower.
Oh, I think we're going to be seeing a lot of people with flashlights in this game on close quarters for sure. The advantage of blinding the enemy is hard to dismiss.
Interestingly enough, this gun does have extended mags, but it's way out at like 300 kills.
That's a little bit too far out. And for this one, you'll definitely want it. Like, it does run out quickly. But it's, for this kind of environment, it's so well suited too, because, if you don't want to be just playing the run around in circles play style that these these game modes most encourage, then the support having claymores means that the single person has a shot at holding down an enemy squad if they can block some of the entrances.
It's gotten to the point where when you're going to capture a flag, everybody should know to just drop a grenade ahead of you.
Yeah, always throw a grenade at the flag. I mean, I think if there's any indication of what classes have been, best suited for this, it's maybe just evidenced by the fact that if you go online and look for a server, you'll find a lot of server descriptions that say no C4ing the objectives.
Okay, so this is the LSAT light machine gun. It is in real life, a lightened version of the 249.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say in real life because it's sort of a prototype still, I believe.
But it goes along with the...
And it fires caseless ammunition, I think.
That's some James Bond stuff right there.
But the idea behind it is that it's super lightweight. Like, it weighs half as much as an M249.
And the idea in Battlefield 3's terms is that it's a better handling light machine gun for running gun playstyles.
Yeah, I don't know how much I would say I totally experience that, except that it does have good hip fire spread. Like, I didn't have trouble hip firing from 15 to 20 meters.
I had a lot of luck too, just with the iron sights on this gun.
Very good iron sights. In fact, I did better with the iron sights than I did with the hollow. Yeah,
there are a couple of guns in this game, such as this one, where you're almost better off just forgetting at these ranges. You're better off just forgetting.
Yeah, exactly.
A gun sight
at these ranges, unless the iron sights are just so poorly designed that you have trouble using them. I'd say go roll without it. Roll without a scope.
So next up is the ACWR. So now we're talking about the engineer class, which, as we said, really seemed like a fish out of water at first.
Yeah.
In close quarters. I mean, they don't have any equipment that makes them particularly useful on these maps.
Yeah, I mean, it's impossible to say that the EOD bot is useful.
So when I first unlocked the ACWR, I still felt like the engineer class was a fish out of water. This weapon without the heavy barrel or a flashlight is not particularly powerful, doesn't particularly have an outstanding fire rate, and will often result in, even if you're good with it, result in you and the person you're shooting simultaneously killing each other.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I had as much trouble with it as you did, but I totally agree that it is not that good. Like, I do have a service star in it, but that's because I was using it to unlock the MTAR. I figured I may as well double up, but I didn't enjoy getting those 100 kills.
It's a very smooth firing gun, I will give it that. When you fire it, it feels very, I don't know, like the word that comes to mind is like buttery. It's just, it doesn't have a lot of kick or the...
It's like butter.
Yeah. The sight doesn't jerk around all that much when you're using it.
Whoa, what did you just do there? Did you get all of them? You're gonna.
No.
Oh, they got you.
The last guy got me with a knife to the head.
I was gonna say that's some James Bond right there.
Yeah,
Dang.
I found that actually the A flag on Zebra Towers, it's better rather than to stay and fight to run circles around it.
Yeah.
Like jump down to the hallway and run around.
Running in circles as a tactic in close quarters, I don't believe you.
In order to get this weapon, you do need 20 AT rocket kills, which I found pretty difficult until I just dug in on a doorway on Zeba.
You had to camp it, huh?
Yeah, pretty much just had to wait for people to walk through a door.
Did you actually get your kill on video here?
No. So that was... So what you're seeing there is me trying to unlock the good old MTAR. And one of my attempts resulted in an EOD bot going up a set of stairs on Danya Fortress and sticking into the ceiling.
Yep. Oh, here we go. The MTAR, it's a savage beast.
When you get the MTAR, you'll understand that I think the devs understood that the engineer didn't have much of a place on this map. So they're like, let's give him one of the best weapons then.
Yeah, I mean, this is sort of hands down the most devastating of the weapons they've given us, I think.
I think this is one of those few weapons you could describe as a beast. It's just one of those weapons that wins.
Yeah.
Like when you come around a corner and you're face to face and you both pull the trigger at the same time, the MTAR wins.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't tried it outside of close quarters, so it may be that this really is the novelty close quarters beast. Like you probably won't be taking this out on Caspian Border.
Yeah, even I've tried some longer range shots with this, even on this map, and you definitely have to tap fire because if you look, the recoil and the spread is actually, well, the recoil is not bad, but the spread is actually pretty good.
Yeah,
at range.
That doesn't surprise me. Well, I mean, and that's a fair compromise for it being so deadly up close.
Although it does fit into the engineer class where, ideally you're in a tank and you just jump out of your tank to defend it.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some admin keeping this off their servers as well.
Yeah, no C4, no MTAR.
Yeah. No C4, no MTAR, no snipers allowed.
I mean, the question is, does the gear that other classes have make up for the fact that the engineers have one of the best weapons? All right, so next up is
the M417.
Probably one of my favorite editions, actually.
I think this is my favorite edition.
It's basically a semi-automatic sniper rifle that's designed for close quarters.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say in real life designed for close quarters, but they programmed it for close quarters. Like, it is a hip-fire monster. And it is pretty decent aiming down sights. And within 20 to 30 meters is a very effective weapon. Outside of that, though, I gotta say the damage drop-off does make it unappealing for, larger maps.
And I think it's one of the, we were saying before, probably one of the least accurate sniper weapons in the role of a sniper.
Right. I think that what makes me happy about it is that it, other than the SKS, the recon classes had very little to go to for close range engagements, and so many engagements in Battlefield 3 in general are close range that this class has really gotten the short end of the stick so much of the time, and I think this weapon kind of makes up for some of it.
All right, so moving on to the why is this here bolt-action sniper rifle, the JNG-90?
The JNG-90. It's actually pretty decent in medium range. I had a good run with it on Op Metro when I was tired of playing close quarters, and I think it works really well. I mean, I think for me, you like this scope more than I do. But
yeah, the 7x scope is my favorite.
So far, I've preferred using it.
Got the proper windage there.
That's right.
But
get the streamers.
But didn't actually. That was interesting. You didn't kill him, even though it was a chest shot.
I think it's an interesting rifle because I think they've brought in a bolt action that's sort of supposed to bridge some of the gap between the semis and the bolt actions. It's
like the M40A5, but a little bit more powerful, maybe. I don't know. I have to look at the stats.
I don't even know if it's more powerful. I'd have to look at the stats too, but it's more that it has a high ammo capacity. It's got 11 rounds to start, which is does not exist for other bolt-action rifles. And it's got decent iron sights.
It certainly looks good. There's something to be said for feeling good about the thing you're shooting in a game like this.
I agree entirely.
All right, so the SPAS 12, this is the first general class weapon. A
lot of people were really excited for this, and a lot of people still are excited about it. I've seen on GameFAQs and some of the boards that people love this gun. I don't.
It's kind of like a faster firing, little bit less powerful 870.
Yeah, I mean it seems to be like the in between for the 870 and the 1014, and for my money, I would rather go with one or the other than try to make the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I just found the fire rate of the M1014 was unbeatable on a map like this.
Yeah. The
SPAS still has that kind of limited range of the shotguns.
And it doesn't have the benefit of the... it's rare that I would say the benefit, but the benefit of the wider spread that you get from the 870.
Or like the 1014, because of the range, the effective range, you just need to put a lot of shots down really fast to drop a guy.
Yeah, and this SPAS has no range.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you. One of those weapons that I want to like more than I do.
Yeah, I feel the same way. only more so with the M5K, of course.
When I talked to the devs at E3, they did acknowledge that they'd done their research. They knew that this weapon's one of the main advantages of this weapon in real life is that you can put in some other round, even if the chamber or the tube is full.
Right, it's a semi-automatic shotgun, but it has a pump action that, in its design, allows you to load a special round through the breech. So that if you need like a breaching round and then go to it as a regular shotgun, you can just do it with the flick of a switch, basically.
They chose not to use that in close quarters. In my opinion, maybe a mistake. Would have been cool.
It would have been interesting. I mean, it would have lent the gun a lot of its own personality.
So in order to earn this, you need 20 kills with pistols, 20 kills with shotguns. The funny thing is when you get those 20 kills with shotguns, like the 1014, and you switch over to this, you're like, wow, this is not as good as what I just did to get it.
I'm glad I didn't have to get 20 kills on this to get it.
You know what? If you like the SPAS 12, please say so in the comments. Tell us why.
Yeah, let us know.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about the infamous M5K.
Just like the SPAS, in fact, even more than the SPAS, I really, really, really wanted to like this gun. I've fired them in real life, and I like most Heckler & Koch weapons in video games, but I do not know how they managed to make this such a miserable thing to fire.
So I started off hating this gun, felt that it had no advantages over the MP7, which has a higher fire rate and a higher magazine capacity. I eventually came to terms with this weapon. It's a gun that requires you to take a lot of cover, reload a lot. It's definitely a tactical weapon. In that you're at a tactical disadvantage. You have to think more when you have this gun in your hands than other people do in the game.
Which just sort of begs the question, why would you put yourself at that disadvantage? Like, other than style points, like, why would you even be using this gun? Like, I just don't see its usefulness.
Now, in order to get this gun, you do have to finish top 5 in Gunmaster. You and I disagreed on Gunmaster. I actually had a good time on it, although I don't know if I'm going to go back to it anytime soon.
If they offer some things like randomized weapons and stuff like that, like if they improve the game mode, I'll give it another chance. But as is, I do not like.
This is also another one of those strange weapons where you need 100 kills with submachine guns. So you're going to have been rocking like the MP7 or something to that effect for a while, and then when you get this, you're going to go, oh, what I had was better.
What I had was better, yeah, just like the SPAS. I mean, that lineup of assignments, the SPAS to the M5K, like I'd say easily the two more disappointing weapons overall.
It does beg the question why the developers would make you work hard with a superior weapon to basically get an inferior weapon.
Yeah, I can't quite figure that one out.
And I found this to definitely be one of those weapons where you need extended mags to be effective. It starts off with like 25 rounds. You will oftentimes run out of bullets before somebody dies. You know, again, if you are a big old M5K fan, we would love to hear your feedback. If you think that we're totally wrong and this weapon is the most amazing thing you've ever seen, tell us why. So we will go ahead and end this feature on Flying Engineer Man.
So long, Flying Engineer Man.
So long. Yeah, actually on this round my team was so good and I got revived so often that I actually ran out of bullets with the M5K. So contradicting myself a little bit here.
You're a liar.
We hope you had a good time with our overview of weapons. Otherwise, we will see you when Armored Kill comes out because I feel like we're going to have a lot more to say about that.
And if you want to look for us on the battlefield, you can find us on my server, that's Anvil 001, and you can plug that search into the server browser.
As always, we would love to know what you guys think about the close quarters maps. Are they tactical enough? Do you enjoy the weapons? Are you looking forward to Armored Kill in the future? And
Armored Kill.
Did you buy premium? Until next time, we'll see you on the battlefield.